And I'm selfish now. Dang it. Okay, just to check in on the Targaryen siblings right now. This is Alaris, who is the daughter. She's the only one that doesn't have a marriage pact aligned. And I'm not sure. I think with Baelor, he's going to have to wait a little while before Rhaenys is of age. And so I think he's actually going to. I'm actually going to have him seduce her, hook up with her, whatever you want to say with that, in order to produce some children early on, not heirs necessarily, but Targaryen bastards that could potentially get cadet dynasties, so on and so forth. So, but she's doing really well. She's gained a ton of learning to her base. I mean, a base of 10 learning is ridiculous, and she doesn't have terrible stats or terrible traits. I'm not sure if she'll end up being anything. She is focusing on stewardship, which is good. She could potentially be a good counselor in King's Landing. So I'm hoping that that turns out well with her. The other Targaryen bastard is Aelix, who has a hair lip and is attractive. He's betrothed to the eldest daughter of the Valyrian, of House Valyrian over here on Driftmark. And he has Rowdy, which is really good, and Playful, which is also really good for kind of the martial focus. Turning into gregarious is a good trait for a knight to have. So, but he's currently not a squire, so I may try to change his educator once we come of age in order to make him a knight. So there's that. And then there is Princess Rhaenys, who is betrothed currently to King Baelor II. She has, she hasn't really grown at all. She's only 5 years old, so the only trait that she has is attractive, but the stats that she has aren't all that great yet. Most of them are all relying on, whatever her base is. So there's that. And then Visenya, who is even younger, she's a little sickly. I think we're gonna give her. I think we're gonna give her the struggle focus. I think she's gonna turn out to be a warrior. So we'll see. We're gonna give her the struggle focus if she can live. Chest pains is not good for a 1-year-old, so we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. And that's it for the Targaryen kids, other than King Baelor himself, who is a beast. Just a straight beast. I don't know exactly how he'll end up. We have about a year left before his education finishes, and so we'll see how his education turns out. But he still has, in this year, he still has to get conscientious gone and also affectionate gone. And so we'll see how that turns out. Do y'all remember an episode? It was probably episode. It was in the teens, early teens, setting up a foreign trade route. King Aegon actually set up this foreign trade route with I want to say it was a country over in Slaver's Bay, but I'm not sure. But it's in need of some repairs, and so we're gonna spend 200 gold to build new ships and to keep the trade route running. Oh, good lord! There's another Targaryen kid. He had another daughter, Princess Rala. I don't know. Definitely not the typical, not the typical Targaryen name. Let's give her. I don't know if I can do heritage. I'm not sure if I can. Oh, I can. Okay. Let's try that. I've really never done. I haven't had any experience with that. Also, to be noted, none of these kids have, except for maybe Alaris. I don't think any of these kids have experienced the coin flip yet. Maybe it's only for Trueborn. And so, if that's the case, she may have just gotten it. Rhaenys must have just gotten it, and she did not get the right side of the coin. She has Roth. That's not a terrible consequence, but yeah. Wow, it looks like we're gonna have to go into debt just a little bit to keep Old Stones going. It shouldn't last very long. Really? And immediately there's a peasant revolt. Where is that peasant revolt? Oh, it's in the north. Okay. Near Last Hearth. Alright, so we're going to raise up the army of Lord Paramount Roger Aaron, or Roger Bolton. Gilbert Aaron will command the center. Raymond Sugdale on the right side, and Gunser, my brother, actually. No. For some reason, Bar Emin is familiar to me. I think technically, Arion, the original heir, or second heir, married into that family, and so Baelor is actually a product of the Targaryen Bar Emin line. As far as I can remember, I think that's how it goes. Let me just double check that. Inferia Frey. Gross. Gross. I was totally off. Okay, we're about to see exactly what happens. I think it's conscientious, maybe. Maybe it's affectionate, I'm not sure. While playing with other children, you seem to favor yourself over the other children. And I'm selfish now. Dang it. I find that it brings me great joy to bring joy to others, so I gain kind. What does selfish do? 1 stewardship, spouse opinions negative, dynasty opinions negative. Okay. Okay, so we're almost 15. We have 1 more childhood trait to lose. And that's conscientious. So hopefully we gain diligence. Honorable would be fine. Oh, there he is. King Baelor II. Gonna have to change his haircut after a little while. The little the sweep to the side, the middle part makes his head kind of look like a butt. Look, it finally happened. The last Lannister. Well, technically not the last Lannister in the world. The last Lannister to rule the Westerlands so far has died, and now a hunter, House Hunter, rules over the Westerlands. Lord Paramount Ober the Unchaste. It's not really a good nickname. I'm sure his wife doesn't really like that. But he married a Tyrell girl. Good for him. And his son, his heir, actually doesn't look that bad. And she's actually married to a Westerosi Valyrian Sunglass. Good for them. They're doing work over there in the Westerlands. I'm actually kind of glad the Lannisters aren't really in control of the Westerlands anymore. So update since the last time we talked. Another peasant revolt. Not really boding well, and I think it's because of all the discontent council and young king, and also low funds for a little while there. So we're gonna have to really squash this. I think. Good lord, the screaming in my ear. I'm gonna try to put this one down. This one's in car hold, so. And now more raising up in Deep Down. No, I'm not going to give you coin. Deep Down is up here. So we'll deal with that in just a little bit. That's pretty easy. They're pretty easy to trap up there. Once I deal with this, I'll dismiss all the army levies. They're going to Last River. They'll get there on this 26th. And dang it. We won't arrive there until the 30th. Edric Storm wants to be... I don't know exactly who he wants to be. Huh. Oh, look at this. The construction work being done in Old Stones is coming along well under the meticulous eyes of a master builder who has taken me under his wing and is teaching me all he knows about constructing buildings. This knowledge will greatly help me in my work. Awesome. So, Edric Storm is infirm. He's become craven in his old age and wroth, selfish and greedy. Still the bastard of King Robert. He's 70 years old, and he has a son and a daughter. His heir, Sarmian Evanfall, is a widower already. He was betrothed, or he was married matrilineally to House Deddings. Interesting. Hey, would you look at that? The timing is almost perfect. We're coming up on our 16th birthday, when we will finally be out from under the regency. We'll be able to lead armies on our own. We are starting to accrue a little bit more wealth, and Rhaegal has recovered from his injuries. He's only wounded now, so he'll have actually plenty of time to recover from even being wounded here before very long. And look, we were able to squash that peasant revolt as well. So that's good. I'm going to dismiss that army. I'm going to send fat-faced Danny to the wall. There we go. Alright. Well, that deals with a lot of that. And the question I wanted to ask, and it's more of a rhetorical question, because we'll have to see. So in the lore, we've kind of crowned King Aegon as the Azor Ahai in the story, because he went up north, he defeated the White Walkers, and he was victorious in that sense. But the White Walkers were always a thorn in Aegon's side. They never really were defeated once and for all. They always came back, and so maybe Aegon is a kind of not a false, but like I guess false is the right word. It's just maybe he wasn't quite Azor Ahai. Maybe he was, this great leader, this great king, but he wasn't quite there. And maybe, just maybe, it comes from his lineage in King Baelor II to take up the mantle of Azor Ahai and go and defeat the White Walkers once and for all. And so that's the goal here. That's what we're looking forward to. Once we're 16, able to lead our own armies, Rhaegal's healed up, we have a little bit of coin, we'll be able to raise up 77,000 men and go march east, where the White Walkers are currently in full swing of trying to take out. Yeah, they're amassing more counties. They are losing this war, or this invasion, and so maybe I'll be able to, once I'm out from under the regency, maybe I'll be able to declare war for the Dawn. I don't know for sure, though. We'll have to see. Well, our regency is ended. We went back into debt because there was more trouble in Old Stones. That's definitely a result of winter. I'm determined to end winter so we can finally get Old Stones up and running again. And I've finished my education, and I have become a brilliant commander. King Baelor. And diligent. Hey, that's awesome. And look, at the ripe young age of 16, King Baelor II has 33 martial, and look, King Aegon died with 31. Would you look at that? So, the king is incredible. We turned out so good. I'm so excited. So the only negative trait really is selfish. That does increase stewardship a little bit. Shy isn't great because it only affects diplomacy, but our diplomacy is high enough that it shouldn't affect it too much, and it doesn't cast a negative opinion modifier or anything like that. So, excellent. We need to choose a focus, and I think it's obvious that our focus should be war, because we're about to go fight the White Walkers, and war is going to help out quite a bit. That'll actually bump us up to 35 martial. And ambition, needs to be, in order to gain that, we would need 6,000 prestige. That may be a goal for later, but I don't think it should be a goal right now. Let me look and see if I can actually declare war on... Look at that Dothraki horde right there. That's crazy. Let's see if I can declare war on winter. Nope, I cannot. Okay. I need to find out if anyone is declaring a war for the... Or if anyone has declared a war for the Dawn. Others invasion... Others invasion... Others invasion... Others invasion. Okay, so nobody has declared a war for the Dawn yet, and I don't know if they can. That's the thing. I think they have to be on the same continent as you in order to declare a war for the Dawn. Yeah, it looks like, and I don't think I can actually join any of these wars either, as I'm already in a war against the others. So I'm defending against them in the war, the invasion of Ramessar, which as far as I can tell is somewhere over here in this area.